The ratings stunk. No one wanted to watch this. Why? Because it turns out that watching a bunch of celebrities reward each other and pat each other on the back and ruffle each other's hair and talk about how brave they are and how wonderful they are is super duper irritating for everyone involved. With the 12.721 in metered market ratings, the Recording Academy's big hootenanny was also way down from the early numbers for the February 13th, 2017 59th annual show. So that's a 20% decline from last year to this year because no one cares. No one cares. Here's the truth. There are certain artists that a lot of people listen to, but they don't have the same sort of broad cultural appeal that they used to. And I'm talking about even the biggest stars. Like they're like Kendrick Lamar. I'm sure there are a lot of youngsters who like the Kendrick Lamar. No one over the age of 35 listens to Kendrick Lamar. Like there's no cross-cultural appeal to a lot of these folks. There's a giant age gap when it comes to the artists who are being rewarded last night. People like Kesha singing. Like I've never listened to a full Kesha song because I would rather drive wooden spikes into my eyes. Okay, there's no reason to listen to a Kesha song all the way through. Okay, no one ever has done so. Everyone who thinks they've done so is just at a rave and they got super high and then passed out. No one has ever listened to one of these songs all the way through. So it wasn't just that. It was also feminism at the Grammys. So everyone at the Grammys now has to posture about how they are for women. They are all for women. By the way, how many women won last night? Any guesses? Any guesses? One. Okay, so one woman won last night, which is sort of humiliating to all of the Grammy "We Love Women" routine. But just like at the Golden Globes and at the Emmys, they're going to do this. We stand for women. Time's up. Me too. Okay, epicenter of sexual abuse of women is in the musical world. The epicenter. Okay, or the center if you don't want to make earthquake analogies. The center of abuse of women in the entertainment world is the music industry. Okay, half the people who are up for Grammys last night have been credibly accused of harassing women. A huge number, I mean, just the rap community alone, right? The people who are in the rap community, how many of them have been indicted? How many of them have been arrested for abusing women? The list is just enormous. It goes on and on and on. And yet here they were all talking about how time's up. We're all standing up. We're all standing up to men who abuse women. Really? Then call out some of the men in the audience. How about that? We know they all know who these guys are. Yeah, the idea that everybody in the audience is all for women. The number of men who have abused women in that audience, it makes the Oscars blush. It makes the Oscars blush. Here's Janelle Monáe talking about time's up. And every headline last night was powerful message about the Me Too movement. Powerful message about time's up. Powerful, powerful message. Listen, I'm in favor of the Me Too movement so long as the Me Too movement is about not abusing women. I was about not abusing women long before any of these other people were about not abusing women, presumably, because I've been talking about it my entire career. But not a single name was named last night. Not a single person was called out last night. So it's all just a double game. Here's Janelle Monáe talking about time's up.
We are also daughters, wives, mothers, sisters, and human beings. We come in peace, but we mean business. And to those who would dare try and silence us, we offer you two words: time's up.
Who's trying to silence these people? I mean, this whole notion that there's a bunch of people out there trying to silence you. Talk as much as you want. It's great. You know, you want to talk about how you want to call the abusers out? Let's call the abusers out. You know what else let's do? Let's talk about degradation of women. How about that? Let's talk about men who degrade women. And women who degrade women, by the way. Women can also degrade women, it turns out. Let's talk about the fact that Me Too and Time's Up were supposedly not just about abuse of women. They were also about female dignity, right? They're supposed to be about men not treating women like sexual objects and women treating themselves as free creatures capable of making rational decisions, right? It's all about people's autonomy, and it's all about people treating themselves with the dignity necessary in order to lead a good life, and men treating women with the dignity that they deserve, right? That's what Time's Up and Me Too are supposed to be about. So Kesha, whose stage name is spelled with a $, which I don't really understand. It was their typo on her birth certificate. In any case, Kesha sang at the Grammys with a bunch of other women, and again, this one got a lot of play because it's all about respect, don't you see? It's all about dignity, because nothing says dignity quite like the top of this woman next to her. I don't know who that is. But it's all about respect and dignity. Again, if we're just talking, here's the thing. If the Me Too movement were just about don't abuse women, then wear whatever you want, okay? But if it's about female dignity, if it's about the idea that women are supposed to be more than sex objects, here's an idea. Don't act like a sex object. Mildly controversial, I know. Mildly controversial. But if you are expecting men to look at you as more than a sex object, perhaps you should not walk around dressed like a sex object. I'm not saying men should look at you like a sex object no matter what you wear. But life is filled with realities that you may not enjoy. Anyway, here was Kesha's Grammy performance. Kesha, who cares? Okay. Oh, so moving, so moving, so moving. I've been informed that this person's name is Kesha, not Kesha. I do not care in the slightest. And when I talk about histrionics, this is the histrionics. Again, I would take all of this about women's dignity a little bit more seriously if Kesha didn't make songs like this one. Nothing says female dignity quite like that lyric right there. I mean, really. There's a place downtown where the freaks all come around. It's a hole in the wall. It's a dirty free-for-all. And then they turn me on when they take it off. When they take it off, everybody take it off. There's a place I know if you're looking for a show where they go hardcore and there's glitter on the floor. Yeah, I can't imagine. And people look at Kesha like a sex object? How? No. That's unbelievable. No. Okay, again, should you treat women with respect? Of course. Of course. Do women deserve dignity? Yes, but there is such a thing as degrading yourself. And when you degrade yourself, and when you degrade women by extension, it's not good. If a man made a video that looked like this, and Kesha were not a famous person, you'd be talking about how the man who directed this video degraded women. That's what you'd be talking about last night. Last night on the Grammys, Rihanna did a performance, and it was, what's the name of the guy? It's the guy that you like, Jess. What's the name of that dude? The one who shouts, oh, DJ Khaled. Okay, DJ Khaled. So DJ Khaled is there, and he walks out and he starts rapping, and then Rihanna appears from backstage and starts pelvic thrusting for like 5 minutes. Okay, if you don't believe that that's a male fantasy, then you're out of your mind. Of course that's a male fantasy. Some fat, ugly guy is there talking about, oh, women, rapping about women, and then out comes a beautiful woman and starts pelvic thrusting? Yes, don't talk to me about female dignity. When you are out there trying to, there's so many dignified women. Okay, there's so many women who are striving for dignity. If you think this is what female dignity looks like, you don't know a woman, and you have no respect for women. And yes, I'm talking about women who think this is what female dignity looks like. Because if Me Too is about anything, it's supposed to be about more than we don't deserve to be raped. We don't deserve to be sexually assaulted or harassed. It's also about we deserve to be treated as dignity, as fully fleshed human beings, as full human beings. Not just as objects of sex, bearing our all for the pleasure of men. Because let's face it, who do you think is watching Kesha videos? Do you think that it's all a bunch of women, empowered women watching Kesha videos? Or do you think that when she's singing about it being a dirty free-for-all, it's a bunch of guys in their basements jacking off? Which do you think? It's just absurd. It turns out that when you alienate half the country and when you shout about how stupid they are and when the entire evening is just about how much you hate the president of the United States, no one wants to watch, which is why the ratings are down. Also, no one listens to this music. So Hillary Clinton is back and she is worse than ever. She's obnoxious, she disliked, she is smug, she's arrogant, she's yuck. So they have her on last night, and what do? They have her read for the audiobook of Fire and Fury. So let's just be clear about Fire and Fury. We've discussed this for weeks. Fire and Fury is Donald Trump fanfic. Okay, it is the twilight of leftist orgasmic dreams. It's Donald Trump wandering around the West Wing like a crazy buffoon, eating chicken wings and making his own bed. Right? It's Donald Trump supposedly having an affair with Nikki Haley, which we'll get to in 1 second. And Hillary Clinton is reading from this fictionalized book. And then we're supposed to believe her when she says things like fake news. We're supposed to believe these people are the real keepers of the truth. When they trot out Hillary Clinton, who can't, the thing about Hillary Clinton, it must be tough for Hillary Clinton to a certain extent because, you know, there's always, if you ever watch a vampire movie, you ever watch a horror movie, there's always somebody who's wandering around who's 2,000 years old and they're like, just let me die. And no one will let them die. That's Hillary Clinton. They just keep exhuming her and then sending her out to talk about politics and put her face in public again. And maybe she runs again in 2020 just as a revenge play. But if she does, Trump swamps her because the fact is she's a deeply unpopular politician. She's more unpopular every single day, which is almost impossible. But somehow she has achieved this magnificent feat. So last night at the Grammys, they trot her out again to read from Fire and Fury, this fanfic about Trump. And this was supposed to be the big laugh.
Take one. He had a long-time fear of being poisoned. One reason why he liked to eat at McDonald's. Nobody knew he was coming, and the food was safely pre-made.
That's it. We've got it. That's the one.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
The Grammy's in the bag?
In the bag.
Because Hillary's reading, you get it, from a book that's anti-Trump. I hope that Trump spends the entire State of the Union address tomorrow reading Juanita Broderick's autobiography.